Good morning, Martin.
Good morning. Back in the march. It's a good place to be first thing in the morning. It's one of the best places to be, except for maybe a shower.
We're on our way to Suzuka Twin, but today they've got it set up as the full track. And this is where we were a couple of years ago racing the Honda Beat and the Fairlady, and today is just an open track day, so anyone's allowed to bring their car. You just pay by the hour, you get on there, and then you have a drive around. So today we're going to attempt to not blow up the march because we still have, it's like 600 Ks or something to Tokyo. It's a long way to go, but we're going to get some track time in first.
Yep.
There's our parking ticket.
Honks in reverse, dude. There's the out hole.
I'll get some coinage from out of here.
It's all chatty. 200 yen. Cheap.
100. There's another hunji.
Yes. Please let us leave. Oh yeah, we are good.
Thank you, JDM Siri.
We're stopping so we can get some snacks and get a tank of high-octane JDM fuel before hitting the highway north towards Suzuka Twin, an awesome little race circuit where you can pay an hourly rate to get your car onto the track. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We've yet to see another march like ours on the road anywhere so far. These cars were really special when they were released, with the Japanese advertising campaign of 1989 featuring the car doing burnouts and driving through clouds of smoke to a cover version of Danger Zone from the movie Top Gun. Although small, it handles highway driving unbelievably well for its size and stature, but how it handles on the racetrack, that's something we're about to find out. This is Suzuka Twin, which lies just up the road from the world-famous Suzuka circuit that hosts big dollar F1 and supercar races. Today, we're doing low-dollar super turbo races, which the Twin is perfect for, as it's truly a track for the people, costing around $50 an hour to drive or to drift.
Suzuka Twin.
We have arrived, and it appears that there is a JDM Mini and K-Car day on.
Oh my god, dude, this is awesome. Is that a...
There's mad old Minis, there's little K-Cars,
Civic Type R, Cappuccino,
MX-5,
amazing.
RX-8. Look at this Mini go. It's awesome.
Listen to it.
Konnichiwa.
Oh, great. Listen to it.
That's like a Mini and a, what do we call them in Australia? Those little Toyota things?
It's
like
a Mini
Yaris?
Meat, dude.
Yeah.
What are the chances? They're awesome. K-Cars
Here
and
goes the
Minis.
Civic, listen to the VTEX.
Oh, that's got an exhaust, can't hear it. Man, imagine your Mini here.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we gotta do it one day.
Look at the Cappuccino. Look at the mad wheels on it.
And K-Cars. This is awesome.
One of the best things about coming to a track in Japan is the variety of cars that the locals bring out to race and have fun with. And as always, there's mad little nuggets. Today there's a strong turnout of both fast minis and K-cars that the drivers aren't afraid of pushing to their limits. Will our 20-something-year-old car be able to keep up? There's only one way to find out.
So we're at Suzuka Circuit, my session has started. It's the only session of the day we're allowed to get in on. You gotta wear your mad gardening gloves.
Yeah, and it's game time with the other mad little, there's K-cars, there's MR2s, there's all sorts of cool stuff out there at the moment.
So keen.
It is time to get on it and go. Back here, this is the lap timer, so you basically got to gaff this here onto your number plate, and that's just going to measure the times for each lap, which will be cool.
Top up the oil.
So many mad cars, so good.
Yeah,
She
needs a little bit, yeah. I'm not going to take any chances with a car this old. We also brimmed the fuel tank because I don't want to risk starving it of fuel as well on those corners. Cool. Have a look. I'll check that on the dips. The old dipper. That's a mad funnel, hey?
That is cool. JDM spec. We'll check it again after you've done a couple of laps, man.
Sure. All right, Super Turbo. It's your time to shine and not explode. I don't know that I've got your boost control totally sorted, but it'll be enough to have some fun out there, that's for sure.
Here you go, Martin. Grab your helmet. Make us Aussies proud.
Thanks, man.
Go hard. You got a chapter. Did you say there's a 1-2-1 out there?
There's a 1-2-1 that I really want to chop, and I want to try and chop that.
All right, 1-2-1 chopping time. All right, go hard, man.
Well, this bill, I don't really fit in the car with the helmet on.
I have absolutely no idea what this guy's saying right now, so I'm just going to keep nodding, put my foot down, and hope for the best.
Here we go. Yes, little Super Turbo. I don't really know what that gentleman said, but I'm going to stay left as much as I can. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go, Suzuka Twin, full track. Last time we were here, we just did the half track. Oh my, well, this is, let's just call it a fairly abysmal. Yep, I'm gonna call this, all right, here we go. Now I'm gonna have a go. Let's go. Oh man, it's fast on the straight, but 120, these cars are not known for their handling. Oh my God. Oh, that's frightening. Oh, that is so frightening. I'm sort of missing the Honda Beat a little bit right now. But it's still freaking awesome. Oh man, the understeer is just ridiculous. The sound is great too. Loving the sound. Oh man, I'm just falling out of my seat. The 80s were great and all, but they definitely weren't the pinnacle of handling technology.
So last time we were filming here, we were just on the half circuit, so basically halfway up this straight, you would loop around and go back. This is now the full circuit, so he's got an extra long straight to get some massive speed up. He's coming up now, he's going hard too. Oh! That was some aggressive driving by that other car, did you see that? Really like right on his tail and cutting in and out. Maybe there's some like weird Japanese race rules we're not sure about, but that was really aggressive. And he's gonna blow it up for sure.
Oh, he's so cranky. I think being a bit of a tourist driver, I'm definitely getting in the way. But I also think that guy in the little K car was not expecting this thing to be quite so quick in a straight line. Which it really is. It really is fast in a straight line. It's just pretty hopeless when you come to a turn. And it's probably not helped by the fact we're running economy tyres. Oh man, it's just so slow in the corners. Oh shit, I've come in so hot. Yep, way too hot. There goes the supercharger winding away. And the turbo coming on, 80, 90. This is a fast track. This is so much faster than when it's cut in half. It's ridiculously fast track. I mean, really you just want to be in a R34 or a RX-7, probably an R34, really, if you had to choose. I'm about to get chopped by a Mazda 121. If nothing else happens today, I do not want to get chopped by a grocery-getting Mazda that's pretty much as slow as my car. I'm failing so abysmally because I can't take a corner. Like, it just doesn't really go where you point it. But let's pretend for a second that it's 1989 and this would just be like destroying the competition. I mean, what else is there in 1989? Okay, there's an R32 Gtr, that's fair. And there's probably legacies that are fast and you know, other stuff, but there's nothing like this. There is nothing like this out there. And most importantly, I really think this is probably the ultimate in style. Definitely got a look happening. And I'd probably get chopped even harder by the minis than just about anything else on this track. 120, 130, 140, 5 grand. Yes, look at it go! Much Super Turbo! This is going pretty good. Tyres are warm, brakes are warm, engine's warm. I'm not overheating. Oh no, that's brake fade. Oh, that's a lot of brake fade. This is my last lap, that's it, I'm done. I'm cooked. I gotta take it in. Very good, very good. Thank you very much, fellow Japanese racing people. That was unreal. That was really cool. Really, really cool. That was an experience. I think I got chopped by everything except the Mazda, because I'm fairly sure the Mazda may have blown up at some point and left the track, probably because it saw the amazingness of this 80s nugget and just went, I have to give up. The 80s might have been an amazing time. Not the pinnacle of handling, not the pinnacle of safety or braking, but the power from this thing is just amazing, and it smashed it on that little track. And that was so fun. So let me go and hit the highway again.
Well, the car survived.
It did. It seems to have survived. It doesn't make any different noises than it did before.
And brakes was the main thing that let you down?
Oh man, just so much brake fade. I've never experienced anything like it. Come to a corner, foot to the floor, not slowing down.
Oh wow. The old drums at the back, they're just not used to it.
No, not at all.
So from here on in, I think we're journeying on now to Nagoya.
Nagoya.
And that's where we're staying for the night. And then after that, we'll be taking the highway to Tokyo, where there's something freaking mad happening in about 2 days' time. It'll be awesome.
Finishing up at Suzuka Twin, we continue heading north towards Nagoya, the 4th largest city in Japan, which is host to some of the biggest automotive manufacturing in the country, producing both cars and parts. It's home to Denso, NGK, and the Nagoya port is where Toyota ship their cars all over the world. Nagoya is also where the Shinkansen is manufactured, Japan's incredible bullet train, which runs at over 320 kilometers an hour. Every kilometre we drive towards the city becomes more and more dense as the back roads turn into main roads and then elevated highways. The road systems here have to be efficient to move millions of people and products all around the country every day.
We've just stopped for some awesome convenience store lunch and swap drivers to keep fatigue to a minimum, and we're on our way to Nagoya.
We've got an important business meeting in Nagoya, but on the way there, we're going to stop off at Hard Off. Not hard on, but hard off. You see lots of garage off, hard off,
Book off.
goo bike.
Good bike, book off.
Lots of weird name shops, but where we're going is a mad second-hand store because we have to pick something up from there before our epic meeting.
Cities like Nagoya compete for both domestic and international business. Big companies bring in big tax dollars and economic activity, which in turn builds infrastructure. The GDP of Nagoya rivals that of entire countries. There's dozens of universities, research centres and public institutions, as the city has positioned itself as a scientific and business hub.
Nagoya, man, it's like a massive port town.
It's like a JDM Newcastle, Australian Newcastle.
Just ships everywhere, trucks everywhere, giant 3-lane freeways that are all elevated, like the whole way from 50 k's probably.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's just an industrial mecca. I've never seen anything like it. Like Tokyo's big, but this is, I mean, industry-wise, this is just massive. Just bridges over bridges just so they can go over the top of the industry that's there and over the water.
We've been going along this road for about 40 k's and it's been elevated, the whole thing, over above the city.
Yep.
And a lot of it really does look like Newcastle. In fact, they had a JDM grunge band that came out of here called Silverstool.
So we're on our way to Nagoya. We've got a test drive lined up of a brand new Nismo Nissan March, which is super exciting.
It's the evolution of that. But the problem is that you can't just come and drive a car here at a dealership. So we had a friend who speaks Japanese ring up the Nissan dealership and say, can we come and test drive it? Now Nissan have agreed to, but there's only one condition. They believe that we are wealthy foreigners looking at buying a fleet of Nissan March Super Turbos, and so we've got a very important business meeting with them, which is why we need to make sure we look legit. So we're at this second-hand clothes shop to make sure we look like wealthy foreigners.
Full legit wealthy foreigners. Oh,
Starting to look snazzy. You've got some velvet jackets over here.
Oh, yes. That would work.
Yep,
What about double denim? The Super Turbo was 80s.
You could go double denim, and I'll go for the kind of suit jacket.
If I just went like full...
And some jeans.
Yeah.
So we've arrived at Nissan in Nagoya. We're about to pretend that we are from a fashion label in Australia and that we're here to buy some vehicles. This over here is an interpreter that we have hired who is going to be helping us buy this car today. He's just getting some words in while he can. Got a clutch killer to get up the hill. There we go. And we're about to pretend that we are a fashion label from Australia who does mature ladies' clothing.
We need a name for our fashion label.
Oh, don't worry.
You got one?
I'm sorted.
All right.
This is a brand new Nissan March Nismo S, and this car is the evolution of our original March Super Turbo. Except somehow 30 years on, like a lot of new cars, it just doesn't have the character of the original, and it definitely won't have any supercharger honk, but we're still keen to see how far the technology has come.
So where in Australia are you from?
We're from Sydney, and we have a fashion label in a place called Paddington.
パディントンというのはなのでファッションのラベル。ああ、そうなんですか。
And we do the bra and undies for the older ladies.
Yes. It's funny, it's true. It's funny but true. ブラとパンツ。おばちゃんの方。
Les Cheryl.
ぽっちゃりの方にも作ってるみたいな。
It's very popular. Yeah, very popular in Australia.
すごい人気になってるみたいで。
Ah, Subarashi. Okay. And manual. Alright, so far so good. It has a clutch. It has an accelerator pedal. It feels very new and modern. The steering wheel has some Allen Cantra on it or something. It feels I think it would be suitable for a fleet of delivery vehicles.
Really?
Yeah. I reckon you could deliver things efficiently and reliably. Brakes feel nice.
What is the difference between this vehicle, the Nismo edition? Is there a non-Nismo edition as well?
シートも違いますし、
So the seats are
シート
different.
ですね。あとハンドル、
So the steering wheel is different.
はい。で、あともうミッションは普通のマーチにはないですからね。
Oh, so the regular March doesn't have a manual
eh.
transmission.
Oh, really?
はい。
Bellissimo.
それが一番違いですよね。
So that's the biggest difference.
Oh, that's the number one difference, the Ichiban.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
What size engine, and is it turbocharged?
エンジンは
ターボが
ターボがついてなかった。
Turbo charger.
ついてないです。1500です。
This is a 1.5 1500cc.
1.5 litre.
1.5 turbocharger.
No turbo.
Okay.
Power windows. That's high tech. Compared to
The
our
original
existing-
Super Turbo.
Compared to our existing fleet.
Yes.
I mean, I think our delivery executives and trade partners would probably appreciate being able to put the windows down
Our
electronically.
brand managers and sales reps,
Yes.
along with the IT department,
Yes.
would enjoy a number of
や
deliveries.
ってる。
Alright, so you
あれ
can
さっき
Give it to
ロー
him,
バーツが左に回ったところで
Whoa! Fast compared to the Super Turbo.
That is fast, isn't it? It's got a good
い
pickup.
や、ここでいいですね。
ここでいいですよね。
はいはい、
Yeah,
ありがとうござい
hang
ます。
a left here.
This might be as
工
fast
事
as
にな
the
ると
Super
すご
Turbo.
い
はい、そうですね。
時間かかる。
Whoa!
A little bit of axle tramp from the front
A little
wheels.
bit of axle tramp, but that's quite a sprightly vehicle.
馬力いくつくらい上がりますか？
ごめんなさい。
Yeah,
I think our deliveries
ちょっとごめんなさい。
would end up there a lot
ちょっと
sooner.
ちょっと
absolutely.
I mean, but the Super Turbo still. We should be leaning towards a fleet of Super Turbos instead. The gearbox is definitely all the way over there. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. As opposed to being here.
The benefit of an automatic one of these potentially with our delivery partners is that they
左ですね。
would be able to eat burgers while they are driving.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel I could successfully eat a burger right now.
It's sprightly.
Feels good.
It is very sprightly.
Yep, surprisingly so. This would be a good little delivery vehicle. Quite appropriate, really.
走りはどうですか？
What do you guys think of the driving?
It feels really tight.
A lot better than I expected, actually. Very, very good.
タイト
はいは
で、思ったより
Still feels Marchy in its size, doesn't it? Like it's definitely got something from the original March.
It does feel similar to the original Super Turbo, but this one here feels like it's put on a lot of extra weight.
It does.
But that's not a bad thing. It's a very delightful and enticing prospect to have a little bit more weight sometimes.
Yep. It's definitely matured. I would definitely say it's matured. It doesn't feel as sort of young and new and sort of all over the place. It definitely knows where it is in the world. You know? It definitely
it
knows
knows
where
what it wants.
It knows what it wants. It knows what it is. It's definitely porkier. There's no getting away from that fact. It is a porkier car. It's heavier, but in some ways it's safer.
I mean, when you go down on this car and you look under the hood,
Yep.
you know exactly what you're going to be getting
You know
because you've
what's
got
there.
years of experience.
That engine has been
Years.
developed over time for so long that you just
Just decades and decades.
decades exactly.
The rear end is reasonably wide.
Yep. But I mean, unlike you know the younger version, which in our case has just schmutz everywhere, like that is clean. That
Absolutely.
is a clean car. I mean, our March has you know, would need basically an entire polyurethane restoration in all the parts, you know?
Yes.
To really make it handle like you'd want it to handle. This, with the amount of development it's had and everything, is just, I mean, I think it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
はい、ここ左
I
で
think
す
it's
ね。
wonderful.
はい。
It's a very, very good little thing.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
前からね。
Well, that was super awkward, but we got to drive the new Nismo March, which we would not have been able to drive anyway.
And that is actually the last time it's available for a test drive. Like this afternoon, Friday afternoon, is the last time that's ever available for a test drive in this particular location. So we got pretty lucky.
And we were legitimately only allowed to drive it because they were told by someone, we didn't know this, we just said to our friend, like, just get us a test drive no matter what. He told them that we were buying them as a fleet of delivery vehicles. So
we had to come up with a story.
we had to come up with a plan to support that. These outfits cost about $150, believe it or not, but $150 got us the test drive. Now we can get back into our nugget. We are staying in Nagoya tonight, but I suggest we go get some mad noodles or something. The final verdict is, in all honesty,
If someone gave me one, I'd just drive it around, but then I'd probably drive my Super Turbo.
take that during the week and take that
Or
one there
make
on the
that
weekend.
Super Turbo. Imagine making a modern one of them.
どうもありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます
どうもありがとうございます。どうも。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。どうも。
All right, we're now back in the original Super Turbo, and the fella from Nissan, I think, is going to go and stop the traffic for us. So we're just going to roll out now. Before it gets any more awkward, let's go, man. I don't know where we're going, but let's just go. We've got to go and find our hotel to check in for the night, and then we will be smashing some noodle or some other delicious thing for the evening.
I hope so.
And he stopped the traffic for us. What an absolute legend. Fantastic. Give us the honk, Martin. That's what we want, a little honk. Anyway, maybe when this video comes out, we send them a link. Or not. Maybe we won't. All right, so we're at our hotel in Nagoya, and the car is about to go into a stacker up into the building, and we're going to attempt to give you a bird's eye viewicle of it.
These stackers are everywhere in Japan. Because of a lack of land space, they do what skyscrapers do and go up. They're fast, cheap, efficient, and best of all, they're safe and super reliable.
Turn it off. And that is it. Farewell and sleep well, Super Turbo.
Nagoya has a thriving nightlife with clubs and bars mostly centred around the main train station. One of the coolest bars in town is Critical Hit, which includes retro gaming machines at each table. The city also features the Nagoya TV Tower, which was built in 1954. While no longer in use, it's located in the middle of downtown and has 2 observation decks which you can climb to check out the city lights.
After a couple of Japan's finest sakes, we're repaying our karmic debt after wasting Nissan's time. We've decided to do our bit for Japan and stop traffic for any special cars that we see around the city.
Street dancing has also taken off in Japan in recent times. There are schools and studios dotted all over the country where people study the various genres. But since the Youth Olympic Games earlier in the year awarded medals in competitive breakdancing to some Japanese competitors, it has exploded in popularity. Any reflective surface is fair game to practice your moves with your friends, and the forecourt of this building is bustling with dancers once the sun goes down. We're pretty hungry after a long day of being world-class fashion designers. A tiny one-chef ramen restaurant delivers the goods.
We are up bright and early, and we came down to get our vehicle out of this freaking awesome parking garage that they have. Like, these
so good.
stackers.
It's so efficient.
So amazing.
They never break down.
They never break down. The car's in there. It's on the 12th floor of the stacker, which is probably about halfway up the building. And now we can't get it out because
The robot's broken.
the robot's broken.
The robot that brings the cars up and down is broken, and we do have a lot of kilometres today.
It's our biggest driving day. We have to drive basically for half the day. The traffic is very unpredictable, especially between these 2 big cities. So it could take the whole day. And currently we can't get our Super Turbo in. I actually feel like
I've gone to pick up like a child from a daycare centre and they've said the door's broken. Like,
Really?
I had that sort of like,
Oh, do you?
but I want to get my car out.
Oh, okay.
The car needs to be released. It's like it's locked up, man.
Yeah.
Like it's in jail.
Maybe we'll just confirm. Sumimasen. Is this broken? This? Martin, can you assist?
No, I have no idea what the word is for broken. Kaput. No.
This parking elevator
Broken, yes. Oh, I found it.
Hey.
Hey.
Awesome. Good. Well, it's definitely broken. That's for sure. So now we wait.
It's friendly at first, but as the minutes turn into hours, the frustration of customers start to show as people miss appointments and meetings. Soon, a couple of technicians show up to try and help fix the problem. The parking garage is completely full and more people are coming down to get their cars and a line begins to form. And just like waiting for VTEC to kick in, we might be here all day and still be going nowhere fast.
So it's been about 3 hours now and we are still waiting for our car. Martin's not emotionally coping that well.
I'm not handling it very well.
They have sent some more texts. They came on some motorbikes, but what they're doing now is they're actually manually getting the cars down. So instead of using the computer that will automatically go to the right little hole, there's someone holding a CB radio standing on the platform and someone down here and they're going up, left, right, and they're manually getting cars. Well, that's the plan, but none have come out yet.
The bit that gives us hope though is that it's actually moving, because for the first 2.5 hours it wasn't. But there is a chance that the only thing I'm going to be left with, because I did ask the guys like what happens if it's broken, and they said, well, it'll just stay there.
They said it's just going to stay there, yeah.
And the only thing I would have left is this key.
Which we've since found out is a very special key.
It's a very special key for Nissan Marches, and it's a Sashio, and it was a cat that was part of their marketing campaign, and so this key is exceptionally special to have an original Super Turbo, a Sashio, the cat. It was based on like a sumo wrestler character or something, but it was a big part of their marketing campaign, so on all the ads.
He was a big sumo wrestler and they named a cat after him, and you'll see this is the original ad here, and you'll see that the cat is actually features in this ad. So here the little march turns up, which is freaking awesome. And look, there he is.
The Sashio.
There's a Sashio.
The cat.
Doing like that.
Little
she
legend.
gets her shopping out of the back.
So practical. There he goes.
And you've got your My Basic. I don't know what that means. March. And then look, everyone's going to be like,
reunited.
Hey.
There he is.
You got your cat. And the price of that car is less than what we paid for it secondhand 30 years later.
That's the base model, so of course it's going to be a little bit cheaper. 29,
it's all right.
29 years. No, it was really expensive.
Oh, feel the best.
I do, man. Except for when my car is stuck in a car park.
Then you feel the worst. We've got the key. We've got the key.
Devastated. My car.
In Japan, in some cases where there's a mechanical failure such as this, the companies who manufacture the equipment will write personal letters of apology to those affected. They can also supply late notes for your boss. From what we can work out, the issue seems to be the sensors that control the endpoints for the giant hoist system that picks the cars up from out of the sky and brings them down. It will go right, but not left, and our car is on the left.
Rather than wait all day for the slight chance that our car will actually come out, we make the decision to grab a taxi and continue our journey because we're going to check out a classic car shop in Nagoya. But at the last minute, Marty refuses to leave his precious Super Turbo, so I'm heading out on my own. So I'm on my way to Classic Car Nagoya. Marty has decided to stay with the Super Turbo because he wants to be there when it's finally released from its JDM altitude cage. Classic Car Nagoya is like a classic JDM car restoration shop where they do older stuff. It's located about 40 minutes from Nagoya, which is halfway between Nagoya and Toyota City, which is literally the city that's built around the Toyota headquarters. And I'm hoping to go and check out some mad retro JDM cars. And meanwhile, hopefully Marty will manage to get our car out of the stacker over there, and then he's going to pick me up, and then we're going to continue our journey towards Mount Fuji.
So most of the taxis that we usually see in Japan are those Toyota Crowns. They're the kind of ubiquitous, kind of black sedan looking things, but they're actually starting to change now. And this car that we're in now, this has only done 1,000 kilometers, so it's basically brand new. It's about a week old. And this car is made by Toyota, and it's called a Japan taxi. That is the model. You can only get these as a taxi. You can't buy them as part of the public. It's something that's specifically made because those Toyota Crowns, while they're really cool and tourists expect to see them, they're not really that economical, and they're not really that spacious in terms of the boot size. So they've redeveloped and made their own vehicle, which is this, because that's what you do when you're in Japan and you're Toyota. You're like, let's just make a new model. And so around 25% of the cars in Tokyo are now these new taxis. But when you get further out, like down in Osaka, there's hardly any of these at all. But this is the future of taxi riding in Japan.
Toyota calls this new taxi their universal design model. The rear seats can fold up with an electric door to help accommodate those in wheelchairs. Toyota say that the JPN taxi is designed to embody the spirit of Japanese hospitality, as opposed to the filthy, fecal-drenched cabs of Sydney.
So I have arrived at classic car shop Nagoya, and of course there's an S30 sitting right here on these mad Hayashi racing rims. The number plate, of course, is S30. There's another, oh my lord. Oh my. We got Fair Lady Zeds. We got mad old Utes. Is that a Subaru 360 over there? This is absolutely ridiculous.
This is unlike anything that I've ever seen before. It's more like a museum than a car shop. It is classic JDM car heaven. While I'm blissing out in this JDM heaven of cars, Marty is in a world of pain as his car is still stuck. Prices of classic cars in Japan are on the rise, and as seen with JDM Minis and the R34 Gtr, some cars are going up in value by over 400% in just a couple of years. And when it comes to older classic Japanese cars, their values are also going through the roof as they become more and more rare. So it's incredible that a shop like this exists that is so organised and ships spare parts all over the world. Need parts for your vintage Fairlady, classic K-car or 60s Honda S600? Or need your classic Japanese car restored and then shipped back home? This is the place for you.
So while downstairs we've got all of these cars, you've got the workshops over there and then the restoration area. Come with me because upstairs is where things just get absolutely ridiculous. And when you come up here, your mind will be blown 14 galaxies away. This, of course, is where all of the spare parts are for your mad retro JDM ride. There is a whole floor of it. Everything is organized absolutely impeccably. And this just goes as far as the eye can see, from steering wheels, interior parts, engine parts, gauges, there's wheels, lights, steering wheels. Like, it is just absolutely off its face. The bumpers, it continues. Oh my God, there is so much.
still waiting. More technicians have arrived over here, and it's not looking good. The sensors are broken on the like lift that moves the cars left to right. The lift will go up and down, and it will go right, but it won't go left. And the Super Turbo is on the left. So we're still just waiting. But we've got to be here in case it does come off, because if it does come off, there's like 20 other people waiting. It'll probably take a good hour or two to unload those people. And they're not really prepared to do it manually, which is, I think, what I'd be doing if I could. But there's a lot of sensors involved, because if you get it wrong, and the tray's not quite right, then it will jam or break, or the Super Turbo will fall out of the sky, which would be particularly bad. So we just wait a bit more.
While Marty's still waiting for this lift to get going again, I'm checking out a little car that really got Japan moving.
So this little vintage K car here with the suicide doors is really culturally important in Japanese automotive history. This is a Subaru 360. It's powered by a two-stroke, two-cylinder engine, and it is the granddaddy of the K car movement in Japan. Now, there were K cars before this, but they were not very popular because they didn't make enough power. And then the governing body that regulated the K car class and how much power they could make and engine size said, you know what, we're going to lift the threshold to 360. And Subaru was one of the first to come out with a 360cc engine in this car that could finally be used properly. It finally made some decent power, and this is the car that mobilized Japan after the war.
Something is happening because the technician is moving his car out. This could be a massive development. They're taking away the sign that says work in progress, so we might be good to go.
Super Turbo.
With my new favourite car released from its car park prison, I'm back on the road and making my way over to Classic Car Nagoya. No doubt my friend has probably already bought himself a car while he's there.
All right, back in the Super Turbo, all strapped in, got all our stuff, ready to hit the road and go and see where my good gentleman friend ended up. Pretty sure he probably ended up somewhere cool. Here we go, let's hit the highway. Sounds so good. Oh, that was a close call, car. I was really missing you for a minute there, my friend. That was scary, locked up in a cell overnight for just being too awesome.
Meanwhile, back at the car shop, I've just showed the owner a photo of my B16B swapped Mini and my RB powered 240Z, which they seem to think is hilarious. I wish Marty had seen this place because he would have absolutely loved it, but we do have to get back on the road.
Thank you very much. That is Classic Car Nagoya. And arigato. Okay. So the papers are inside. The paper inside for me to take this home now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you very much. And goodbye, everybody. Going for a drive in the little Mazda 360 coupe. The locals all think it's pretty hilarious seeing someone so tall in a little car. 4-speed. I tell you what, for a car that's 50 or 60 years old, it feels pretty amazing. I haven't quite worked out the gears yet, but we're going to go out onto an open road here and I'll give it a little bit. It feels like riding on a lawnmower and is not that much quicker actually. These are just the back streets here of this area outside of Nagoya, but I do need to pull onto a main road. You've got to stop completely, of course, before going straight up into first. You don't have to go over to the side like this, you just go straight up. Just with one finger will do it. straight up, and here we go. Let's see what this little thing's got. Oh, that's it. I hit the rev limiter there. There it is. That's fully wound out now. Fully wound out in third gear is approximately 25 kilometers an hour. You got to remember as well that when this 360cc class of car came out, the roads were not all paved yet. People may have been driving around on dirt roads or on country roads, so it might seem like it's slow in today's standards, but back in the day, this was the powerful version. These cars and the Subaru 360 is what got people on the move and got them out and about. I'm heading out onto a main road, which is utterly frightening. I've got to rake my way through the gears. That's second. That's the rev limiter there, third. What an amazing little car. What an amazing little car. Oh yep, it's got an indicator. Down into second. There it is. Well, maybe that was fourth. That's second. And I've just had some good news that Marty has managed to get the Super Turbo out and he's coming to pick me up, so we are back on the road.
I have made it, and even though we've lost half the day, now we can push on towards Tokyo.
Put your hands up. Now pull your pants down. 'Cause I tricked ya. He tricked ya, he tricked ya. I said put your hands up. And pull your pants down. Life's not easy. Oh, when you're sexy. Oh, you sexy mothers and fathers, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Oh yeah, put your hands up. Put your hands up, man. Oh, that's just too sexy, man. Gotta get something to eat, man.
Takoyaki outside.
Oh yeah, takoyaki for sure.
Back on the highway, we were reminded of one of the special features of this car, a safety beep that plays constantly anytime you go over 100 kilometers an hour. It is relentless and goes on and on and on for hours. What's this? Some newfangled Nissan that wants to race the original? Supercar vs Super Turbo? Bring it.
Oh, we're off the holy. That was awesome.
What'd you do in Japan? Oh, we just cruised down an expressway with a brand new GTR with a smiling girl in it. Loves it.
At 100 kilometers an hour.
Dude, this doesn't go.
Except full beat, that did.
Nah, that was heaps. That was a bit less than that. Wouldn't our speed cut be hitting at that speed? Maybe it doesn't have speed cut. This march is incredible. We just kept up with the GTR for at least a minute.
No, we did. And he was going fast.
going for it.
It didn't feel like we were going that quick, did it?
I didn't know we were going that quick until I looked down at your speed and I was like, what the?
That's just how good this, I mean, this is a sports car, turbo charger.
This is a 29-year-old bucket. That's an awesome 29-year-old bucket though.
As the air starts to change, something absolutely ginormous is looming on the distant horizon.
We just had our first glimpse of Mount Fuji, which is just over this ridge ahead, and it was very exciting, and now it's drawing us in.
It's disappeared again, but I think once we blast through another couple of these tunnels, we should end up basically at the base of Mount Fuji.
That's pretty exciting.
It's awesome.
The tunnels here are so, like they're a tunnel, as you know, but they're just cut into the mountain. There's nothing else around it. There's no signage, there's no advertising, there's no garbage along the road. It's literally, as you'll see coming up here, you drive along and there's just suddenly a hole in the side of the mountain and then in you go.
And the quality of the road is incredible. It's just so flat and so smooth, which means you can just sit on the speed limit, no worries.
Except nobody does sit on the speed limit.
No.
We're in a 100 zone, and apparently the police won't even stop you to have a chat unless you're going 140 or 150 kilometres an hour. The speed limit is set, but it's just enforced very loosely. And if we've had to overtake someone and we're doing 100 or 110 or something like that, we pull back over and there's people just blasting past us in like VIP cars and all sorts of stuff. And because it's a tunnel run,
Oh wow, there it is. We just blasted out of a tunnel.
and there is the Fuji-san.
Wow. Like, no wonder it's such an icon. I mean, like, you've got all these hills and they all kind of look exactly the same. Then you've got that.
It's huge.
It's enormous. Well, I've never seen it this close. I've seen it from a Shinkansen window before and maybe an aeroplane.
Yeah.
I've never seen it like this. That is amazing.
It's that similar feeling of when we're in Central Australia and then you see Uluru for the first time and you're like, it's actually bigger and grander than anyone could explain to you. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And it's such like a
volcanic shape.
low angle, but then the top just looks like it's going to explode. And snow-capped.
It's crazy. Up ahead we've just spied an R34 Gtr, and I do believe that it has the same number plates that our fair lady has. So we're going up to confirm. We just went past the Evo wagon. There's a Mini Cooper here, and the R34 GTR. Actually, all sorts of cool cars coming up.
Heaps of cool cars. It's almost like there's somewhere to be. That's cool. In this direction.
There he is. Nice.
That is pretty cool, man.
That's awesome.
That is a nice looking car.
Let's cruise with him for a little while. What do you reckon?
Sure. Look where we are, man. This is amazing.
It's another one of those moments, Martin. We're in our Nissan Super Turbo at the base of Mount Fuji, cruising along with an R34 GTR. He's about to blast past us.
Don't even bother, dude. It's like, I just want to overtake these idiots. Why are these idiots speeding up? I just want to go. It's just his daily. He's probably got another one at home. That's pretty incredible. We have matching plates.
We do. Oh, wait on, that's 23.
So
this is 23, and the fair lady's 23.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Nissan's for everyone.
And coming up here's the Supercharged Mini, the new one that no one gives a shit about.
I just got this. It must be the altitude. I'm just so yawny all of a sudden.
So we are in the hills surrounding Mount Fuji over there, and we are a few hours behind, but we almost didn't get here at all.
Yeah, this was very nearly stuck in that car park forever. Those guys couldn't give us an answer that said, yeah, it'll be out in 30 minutes. Well, they did say 30 minutes, and then 4 hours later, it finally popped out.
Yeah, but luckily I did have the chance to drive some mad old classic JDM cars. We had some amazing highway runs down to get here today. We had a little run with an R35 Gtr and R34 Gtr, the unicorn, and tonight we're going to go hit up some yakitori, which is going to be delicious. Get that in our faces.
Let's go.
So, good evening,
So keen.
Japan. Bonne nuit.
Konbanwa.
Oh no, that was French. Oh no, it's konbanwa, which I think is good evening, Japan.
Good evening, Japan.
Or maybe it's not good evening, Japan. Maybe it's good evening something else. Or we could just bonne nuit, which is French, because they seem classy here as well. Look at that sky, and this is broccoli growing all around us. Broccoli. Should take a bit and see if they'll cook it for us. So it's another beautiful and chilly morning here in Gotemba. We stayed in a crazy hotel last night. It's like a concrete bunker inspired manga robot spaceship just plonked on the side of the mountain. It was absolutely incredible. But now, today's our big day. Today is of course why we're in Japan. But first, to get there, this is the Turnpike Road and the, how do you say it? The
Hakone Skyline.
The Hakone Skyline. So we're going to be driving a section of that because that is why we're here and what it's all about. We're on our way there now. We're going to pay the toll and then blast our way down through some epic JDM roads.
We are at the Hakone Skyline at the main entrance here. It's the beginning of a mountain road which is about 8 kilometers long. It's a couple of hours from Tokyo, and it is essentially a tourist drive and set up so people can come and see the amazing views.
I mean, by tourist drive, people also mean drift track and racetrack. There are no police here. In fact, nobody's ever seen police here. It is a private toll road, so you've got to pay about $5 here to get in. Now, a lot of the people that coming up here, there's local drifters, people coming up here in supercars. We've seen a bunch of modified S2000s coming up here this morning, but it's basically goes along the ridge here. There's amazing views down over the lake and of Mount Fuji. And a lot of people argue about this, but it is arguably the best driving road in the world. Most definitely in Japan, but a lot of people argue that it's the best driving road in the world. Now, we don't have a supercar or a GTR or anything else. We have a Super Turbo. And so we're going to go up and pay our fees, and we are going to do the Hakone Skyline in the Super Turbo. Let's do this.
Let's check it out.
Sure?
Oh, he doesn't want us to pay.
Oh, okay. No cost.
Oh my God.
Maybe because
Free Skyline.
he watches Mighty Car Mods.
Maybe, here we go.
I got 2 shit me bars here.
Dude, you don't, like, it's such a tight, twisty road, you don't even need to do 80 k's an hour. Like, it's big and sweeping and, like, plenty of space. Oh, the supercharger's doing its thing. Also, we are at elevation here, so, like, cars do slow down a bit. But that's where turbos and superchargers come into their own.
There's a ridiculous view out there.
It's amazing.
It's interesting that throughout Japan we have seen no burnouts, no rubber on the road.
Not
Every time we've gone to a racetrack, everybody leaves really respectfully.
Yep.
Except for when we got near here. And the roads look like a racetrack. There's just rubber all over them. It's just ridiculous.
This is pretty cool, man. Far out. I can completely understand what the fuss is about because there's really good line of sight. Like you can see where the corners are going.
Yeah.
And then they're blind and they're elevating and changing directions. It's pretty cool, man.
Now, if you do want to come here and drive, there are a number of places that will hire you cars.
Yep.
You can kind of have a classic Trueno experience, or there's places that do Skylines, obviously. You do the Skyline Road in the Skyline, which seems to be a bit of a thing. There's people doing classic cars, there's people doing supercars. We're, of course, in the best car for this trip, which is the March Super Turbo.
Known for its handling.
But you don't have to own a car like we do in Japan to come and do this, so definitely worth coming and giving it a crack if you're ever in Japan.
Yeah, this is amazing. Such good flow, just made for it, man.
Go Super Turbo, go all the way, all the way.
Dude, you gotta have a go. You gotta experience this yourself. I know your choice of car may not be a March Super Turbo, but you have to experience it on this particular road.
The thing is with these little nuggets, and this is something that I think a lot of people don't understand, is if I was in my Mini now, or if I was in my RB240, you would want to drive the car in a very spirited way and you'd be going 150 kilometers an hour, and that would actually be frightening. We're actually up here very early in the morning. There's a Porsche, which we're about to catch.
Really?
Which is very early in the morning. So there's hardly anyone here, except for old mate in his Porsche that's about to get chopped by the Super Turbo.
And someone in a Tarago, essentially, who's probably going quicker than we are.
What a road! What a road!
So good.
And what a car! And we're keeping up with a Porsche.
Sort of, but we could hurt ourselves doing so.
He's just looking in his rear vision mirror going, who are these dickheads? It's like, I'm just going for a Sunday drive, you know?
Yeah, he's probably just like in fifth gear, just putting along in cruise control. No, he's like, get out of my face. He thinks we want to go around him.
Thank you. This car has impressed me so much this trip.
Has it?
Like the speeds that it can get to on the highway, and now that you can do this kind of driving and both of them are fun, there's not many cars that can do that for this kind of money.
And it hasn't also had any of those big downsides like really noisy or really hard or really crashy or really laggy or anything that sort of makes you go, oh well, it's a bit compromised. Like, it's compromised completely because it's an old hatchback that doesn't really handle, but all the driving we've done has been really enjoyable.
Absolutely. And the worst things about a car are often the best things as well. It's kind of what gives them their personality.
Yep.
What's really clever about this road is when the corners are tight, they put these red bands across it to give you kind of a vibration. So if the corners don't have them like this, you know they're not really going to be that tight, but other corners, they've got these little vibrating strips. You'll see them here. There goes old mate in his STI. And if you see these, it basically means slow down a bit more. So a good tip for new players at the Hakone Skyline. Well, that was absolutely amazing, and we could do that all day.
I could do it all day.
Except today is the day that we came to Japan for. We've got about an hour and a half on the highway, and then we are taking you guys somewhere very, very special today. So let's hit the highway. So we have arrived at Fuji Speedway because we are here for Nismo Festival, which is pretty exciting. And that is why we've come to pick up this car at this time. We're now taking it home to its Nismo family. And it's running heaps better, isn't it?
It's running well. It's been gradually improving the more we've been thrashing it. I think that thrash through the mountains actually cured it of whatever was ailing it.
Yep.
And probably a bit of brake cleaner. Oh yes, look.
In front of us.
Nismo March.
Nismo March.
Fantastic. Older than
And
new.
we've got also the Nismo March.
We do. And some very handy passes.
So I don't know exactly what we're going to see today, but I imagine there's going to be lots of Marches, lots of GTRs, lots of Skylines. So we're taking the March back to its people.
This
and
will be
Fuji
fun.
Speedway.
This
It's
looks
gonna be
massive.
awesome.
I've seen like 10 GTRs just in the roads surrounding this place. We're just going to
gonna be
see.
so good.
It's just going to be a Nissan extravaganza.
We're at the base of Mount Fuji at this awesome track, and there's all sorts of cool cars piling in. Mostly Nissans coming in, but there's MX-5s, there's some little nuggets, there's K cars. There's going to be all sorts of cool cars out on the track today. And so all in all, it's going to be a rad day. And of course, you guys are coming with us to see the JDM extravaganza that is Nismo Fest.
I gave you everything, and you gave it all away. What can I do when there's nothing left to say? You were everything I was, and everyone I am.
If I can't lose the only person I have left.
I've managed to swindle my way into a hot lap with the number 23 GTR, driven by German race car driver Michael Krum, who's a huge automotive celebrity here in Japan. He also drives like an absolute demon, so I've managed to get myself a spare pair of undies which I bought from a vending machine.
So that was unlike anything I've ever experienced before. We did hit 275 kilometers an hour down the straight. And the braking is just like nothing you can imagine.
just when you think that there is no way you can get around the corner, that anchor's come on and it just pulls you out of your seat. You can feel your eyeballs moving forward in your skull. And what makes it even crazier experience doing those speeds is that there's a tourist bus out on the track at the same time full of people. In fact, there's 3 tourist buses full of people. And as you're driving around, there's people on a bus looking at you with all of the other competition cars going around you. I've never experienced that kind of power before. I know a few people that own Honda Civics probably have, but for me that was a first. Absolutely incredible. And I'm going to go and have a little lie down and maybe a puke.
Some of the cars at the track have adorned the walls of Nissan fans world over. Many are extremely rare and have massive followings, so having them all in one place makes this event a must-see. If there's something we've learned over our years driving cars, it's that time and technology marches on. This car truly was a product of its time, a time when Japan's economy was at full noise, industry was booming, and growth exponential. Since those days, cars have definitely matured. They're more refined, more efficient, and they definitely don't honk, they just work. But there's some honour in saving a car from a bygone era, restoring it and appreciating it for the time capsule that it truly is. The real value in cars, of course, is the adventures they bring and the stories they tell. This little nugget took 2 mates on an unforgettable journey across Japan, and now we're taking this little Super Turbo back to its birthplace. We're heading back to Tokyo.
Midnight, no sleep, my hand on car keys, Skid Row on the radio. I drive these streets with neon memories. You said you'd be here, but now I'm alone. Are you really gone? Take me back. late night lies. I'm wrong, but I try. Going everywhere she goes. Red light, concrete. I fall down on my knees. We said forever and never we meant it. Now the shotgun's empty. Take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back to Tokyo. Take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back to Tokyo. Take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back to Tokyo. Take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back to Tokyo. It's been 10 years, I know. All these feelings they show under the lights in Tokyo. We all change and we grow. Should we hold on or let it go? Take me back, take me back. Take me back to Tokyo. Try to find each other. Take me back, take me back, take me back to Tokyo. We can let go and find another. Call my name, forget our other lovers tonight. Take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back to Tokyo. Midnight, no sleep. My hand on car keys. Take me back, take me back, take me back to Tokyo.